ductiles unite into larger and larger vessels, just as do the tributaries of a river. And finally, the single large hepatic duct...
Message from Mrs. Stuart Clark. She said, no, definitely not. It's out of the question. She said you'd know what she was talking about.
Professor Stuart Clark here. Could I have an outside line, please?
Oh, Professor. Your wife said don't bother ringing back. It's not negotiable.
I'm sorry, Richard, it's not negotiable. Because Antonia and Julian are coming to see us. No, it's out of the question. What am I supposed to say to them? Richard's not here, he's gone to Cardiff to see a rugby match? No, we'll be awfully bad-mannered. Especially when they're making the effort to come and see us.
But, darling, they only live in Kensington, for heaven's sake. What's the big deal?
Look, where they live is immaterial. End of story. Besides, I know what you're like when you get together with Paul Collier. Probably wouldn't see you again for the whole weekend. Oh, darling, don't forget we're playing bridge with the Warings tonight. Don't be late.
But, look, darling, couldn't Julian come along?
Oh, really? Julian go to the match with you? Don't be ridiculous. I mean, you know what my sister's like. She never lets him off the leash.
Yes, but, darling...
You don't mind, then, if I go on Saturday? You sure you don't mind? I mean, if you do mind, say so, because I don't mind. Honestly. See, you really don't mind?
Duncan, I've told you, I don't mind. Well, go then. Have a nice time. No, I did not sound funny. All I said was that it's Melissa's school concert on Saturday evening, and it would be nice if you got back. Oh, Melissa, shut that row up a minute, I'm on the phone!
Well, I'll tell Paul and Dick that I'm definitely going, then. You sure you don't mind? Okay. It is rather a big occasion, England versus Wales.
Ah, Duncan, I spoke to my chap, he's fixing up the tickets.
All right, darling, I'll see you later on. Oh, and don't forget the Stuart Clarks are coming over for a bridge tonight. Bye.
The tickets are organised, kick-off 2:30.
Sorry, Paul, can't make it.
You kidding? What, did you ask Geraldine?
She said she doesn't mind.
So what's the problem?
If Geraldine says she doesn't mind, she minds.
You're kidding?
I'm sorry, Paul. We've got Emma's sister and boring brother-in-law coming over on Saturday. I've got to be around.
What is the matter with you and Duncan? Why don't you just tell them, I'm going to Cardiff Arms Park to see Wales play England. It's not negotiable. End of story. That's what I'd do.
And that's why we're still married and you've been divorced 3 times.
Oh, well, if she won't let you go, she won't let you go.
It's not a question of not letting me go. If I wanted to go, I'd go.
To go?
I can't. There are other considerations. It's all right for you. You've only got yourself to think about.
Why do you think I got divorced? No, it's a shame, though, isn't it? I mean, it would do us good to get out of the hospital. Come on, down the M4, over the Severn Bridge, spot of lunch, see the match, maybe stay in a country hotel, spot of dinner, nice round of golf in the morning, spot of lunch on the way back. You know, make a whole weekend of it.
I think that's what Emma's afraid of.
I've organised the tickets now.
Well, you can still go.
I don't want to go on my own.
Anybody here remember Kenneth Bickerstaff?
No.
Yes, I remember Bickerstaff, unfortunately. We were students together. You remember Bickerstaff, don't you?
One can hardly forget him. Oh, it was a pain in the sphincter. Oh, couldn't stand him. Absolute creep.
Do you remember that laugh of his?
Oh, yes.
Absolutely ghastly. Very devious.
Yes, and light-fingered. Do you remember when I caught him going through Duncan's locker?
No,
Oh,
nothing
yes.
would surprise me. It was a nasty piece of work.
Yes, real little snide he was. What about him, anyway?
He's dead.
Well, that makes it 3 now, and all under 50.
Why? Who else has died?
David Cannadine. He was only 48.
Who?
David Cannadine. You remember David, a big strapping lad, used to play rugby for Middlesex.
Oh, Dave Cannadine. Keep fit merchant?
Yeah.
Always in the gym?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know he'd snuffed it.
Dropped dead jogging on the Brecon Beacons.
Oh, dear, oh, dear.
Dropped like a stone.
Good Lord. Oh, I wish I'd known. I would have gone to the funeral. I liked old David.
Not so old. And Peter Bostock, he was only 49.
Peter Bostock? Don't tell me he's gone.
Topped himself.
Oh, that's all right. I think he died. Oh, you know what I mean.
And now Bickerstaff. He was our age. It's a bit worrying.
No, not really. We don't know what he died of, do we? I mean, he might have fallen under a bus.
No. It says suddenly. I mean, that usually means heart attack or something. I mean, if it was an accident, it would say tragically.
No. It says suddenly in Spain. I mean, knowing Bickerstaff, he probably fell off a donkey.
Or, I'm telling you, if it was an accident, it would say tragically, not suddenly.
No, not at all. I mean, falling under a bus is pretty sudden. Equally, having a heart attack at his age is pretty tragic. So let's not jump to conclusions, all right?
Right, I found out what happened. He fell onto a railway line.
There you are, you see. He fell onto a railway line. It was an accident.
No, he was dead already. It was a massive heart attack. Yes, I managed to get hold of Helen Bickerstaff. Well, she's Helen something else now. They were divorced years ago. Apparently, he was on one of his train-spotting trips. They're not sure, but they reckon it was the excitement of seeing the Torremolinos to Madrid Express that caused it.
Well, at least he died happy.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
Paul!
What? I mean, if seeing a train gave him a heart attack, he must have been pretty thrilled. That's all I'm saying.
Yes, well, apparently he lives with his mother, or did live with his mother, in Somerset, a little village called Barwell. Now, I was wondering if we ought to go to the funeral.
Well, when is it?
Saturday morning, 10 o'clock.
We'd have to leave pretty early.
Why the hell do you want to go to the funeral?
I didn't say I wanted to go. I was wondering if we should go. We were all on the same firm together.
We couldn't stand the man. He was a creep of the first order. Do you know, I reckon it was Bickerstaff who nicked my Dance Music Centre.
Dance Music? What the hell's a Dance Music Centre?
My stereo. I got it for my 21st and it walked. I'm positive it was Bickerstaff. And as for seeing Helen Bickerstaff again, no thank you. Oh, she was worse than he was. Awful.
Oh, she's not going.
Well, there you are, you see. Even his ex-wife isn't going. No, thank you. I've got better things to do than go to Kenneth Bickerstaff's funeral.
Paul's right. I wouldn't recognise Kenneth Bickerstaff if I saw him.
Well, you would. He'd be the one in the coffin.
No, I don't think there's any reason for us to go.
Oh, please, don't let me stop you. If you want to go, go. Providing, of course, that your wives will deign to let you.
I think these are mine.
Well played, partner.
Fluke.
What? No. It's good teamwork. Not quite your night, eh, Dickie?
Stop gloating.
I am not gloating. Gloat. Now, let's see what the final score is.
So I can't understand your playing the ace of clubs. I mean, you must have known Duncan would trump you.
Well, obviously I didn't.
It's only a game.
Yes, and we have won 5 out of 6 rubbers.
Yes. All right, Duncan, thank you. There's no need to rub it in. Richard knows you played badly.
No, I'll be sleeping in the spare room tonight.
I think I'll make some coffee.
Well, at the risk of repeating myself, I think you should go to the funeral. It's not often I agree with Geraldine.
Oh, I think it's a first, Emma.
Well, it's not often I agree with Paul, but I think in this instant he's right. I mean, whenever like Kenneth Bickerstaff, we haven't been in touch for 20 years. It'd be hypocritical. Wear him.
Listen, Duncan, this place where Bickerstaff's being buried, I've been looking at the map. It's only about 100 miles from Cardiff Arms Park.
It's marvellous, isn't it? You're quite happy for me to spend my Saturday going to a funeral, but not to a rugby match where, heaven forbid, I might enjoy myself.
Oh, don't be so stupid, Richard. It's quite different. It's a matter of duty.
So I reckon we could leave there, latest 11 o'clock, onto the A350, pick up the A46, over the Severn Bridge, and we're there.
Yes, I think you might be right. I'd keep her on a drip, and I'll check with you tomorrow.
What? Oh, yes. With you, Duncan. OK, see you tomorrow. Bye.
Well, always on duty, eh? What were we talking about? Oh, Kenneth Bickerstaff, eh? Well, I think maybe Emma is right. Maybe we should go.
Well, I think so. I mean, it never hurts to show a little compassion for one's fellow man.
That's right. And when you think of it, he had few, if any, friends. I think we ought to make an effort.
Especially since his ex-wife hasn't got the decency to go.
But quite. I mean, after all, it's not asking much to give up one Saturday.
Absolutely.
So, you pick me up 7:15, 7:30. We'll whiz over to you, Duncan, then away we go.
Courtesy of Kenneth Bickerstaff. Ironic, isn't it?
Isn't it?
Listen, I've been thinking, why don't we make a whole weekend of it?
Oh, no,
I
we've
don't
been
think
devious
so,
enough
really.
as it is.
Come on, listen. The car breaks down.
Bentleys never break down.
The car breaks down. We're stuck in the wilds of Somerset. We have to wait for a spare part, which we don't get till Sunday afternoon, after lunch, at some lovely little restaurant somewhere. Then home you go for tea and lots of sympathy. Come on, go for it.
No,
I don't think we should push our luck on this.
Come on. When we were their age, we'd have done it.
We
weren't married then.
Very tricky getting this lot in the car without Emma seeing it.
Now, here's my spare set for Duncan.
Have you got his change of clothes?
Oh, yes, it's all in there.
You don't have to slam it. A touch, that's all that's required. See? Well, perhaps a touch more.
Come on, let's go. Dick, I've been thinking. We don't really need to go to the funeral, do we? We might as well head straight for the match.
Paul, I may be a hypocrite. I'm not that much of a hypocrite.
Just a thought. Still, at least we won't have to talk to him.
Who?
Bickerstaff.
Honestly, I told that milkman to leave semi-skimmed.
What the hell were you thinking of? Banging the horn like that at 7:30 in the morning?
I'll tell Duncan you're here, although it's hardly necessary after blasting your horn like that. Probably woke the whole neighbourhood. Very thoughtless of you, Richard.
Sorry. Just getting into the party spirit.
We're supposed to be going to a funeral. We are going to a funeral.
Now look, if you can get back for Melissa's concert, well and good. But don't rush. Drive carefully.
Well, we should be back by 8, eh?
Well, we'll try our best. Apparently there's been snow in Somerset. Some of the roads could be blocked.
Well, maybe we shouldn't go.
What? No, we must go. I mean, we owe it to Kenneth, don't we, Dick?
Oh, yes, I think we ought to make the effort.
Yes, in fact, I think we'd better hit the road.
Geraldine, where did I put my coat when I came in? I can't find my coat.
You went straight to the downstairs loo, Dad. You probably left it in there. You've got room, haven't you? He feels he ought to go, you know, Kenneth being an ex-student of his.
If when we leave Barwell, we go onto the A350, pick up the A46, cross the Severn Bridge, we could be at Cardiff Arms Park by 2 o'clock. Well, it was just a thought.
Before he died, hum-tiddy-bum-tiddy-bum-bum-bum. And he told me before he died, I had no reason to believe he died. Hum-tiddy-bum-tiddy-bum-bum-bum. On every more buttons, on every more buttons. I've been a courting Mary Jane, Mary Jane.
My God, we're here!
So we gather here today to bid farewell to Kenneth Edgar Bickerstaff, who had only recently returned to this parish.
I didn't know he was called Edgar. Shh.
Dr. Bickerstaff will be sadly missed.
Not by many, if you look round here.
He died.
It's a good job we came.
Always, it seems. Kenneth came back to Barwell to live with his mother, a parishioner of long standing.
Very long standing, about 15 minutes so far. Shh.
We all know.
Which is his mother?
Gather here today to bid farewell.
If the vicar takes much longer, I think she's going to join him.
Kenneth Bickerstaff died in Spain. Mercifully, he suffered no pain.
It's a poem.
He died of a heart attack, as we all know.
It's 3 hours to kick off, and we've got to go.
Actually, I do want to go. I'm bursting.
Me too. I'm desperate.
And so, as we swim through the waters of life, always it seems traveling upstream against the flow.
The man's a sadist. Why does he keep talking about water and streams?
So, from time to time, are we deluged by destiny's waterfalls, pouring down upon us from a great height.
Hurry up, I'm dying for a wee. Where's Geoffrey?
Honestly, you'd have thought he'd have waited 5 more minutes.
Well, he's an old man. His bladder's not as strong as ours.
My God, he's going to fall in the grave!
Stop! Oh, it was so kind of you to travel up from London like this.
Oh, it was nothing, really. Well, bye-bye, Mrs. Bickerstaff. We must be on our way. See you next time. Another time. Sometime.
Oh, but aren't you coming back to the house?
Well, no, we must make a move. Long way to go.
Oh, please come back. Kenneth would have so liked that.
Love to, Mrs. Bickerstaff, but really, we must make
Of course we'll come back, Mrs. Bickerstaff. It will be a pleasure.
Oh, lovely. Just follow. It's not far.
Why did you say that?
Because I'm not as heartless as you.
Would you excuse me a moment? Richard!
Oh, excuse me.
We've been here 20 minutes. We've got to get going. Or we'll get behind schedule.
Yes, you're right.
Hey, we ought to be making our move.
Yeah.
Old Geoffrey's getting out of hand. He's chatting up old Mrs. Bickerstaff.
Tempting me again.
He's come full circle. He's piddled again. He's been at that sherry like a man possessed.
Yes, I think we ought to say our goodbyes.
Yeah.
Delicious.
This was Kenneth's favourite. Crab and avocado dip. He loved it.
I'm afraid we'll have to go, Mrs. Bickerstaff.
Oh, so soon? Have you had enough to eat? Have some dip. It's crab and avocado. Kenneth's favourite.
It was lovely.
It really was very delicious, but I really do think we ought to go.
See you out. It was so kind of you to come.
Duncan, look. My Dance Music Centre. I knew Bickerstaff had nicked it.
Tiddy-bum, tiddy-bum, bum, bum.
I thought you said Bentley's never broke down.
Oh, shut up.
Well, it's an hour to kick off.
We'd better call the AA.
They could take forever.
I'll tell you something. She's a very nice lady, that Mrs. Bickerstaff.
Look, it's only about 40 miles away. Let's hitch. No taxis for at least an hour and a half. We're only about 3 or 4 miles away.
Let's walk.
Damn.
I've got an idea.
I'm sorry, I don't care what you say. It was highly irresponsible.
Oh, the ambulance driver didn't mind he was coming here anyway.
You didn't know that when you dialed 999.
Well, what does it matter? We're here now. Let's enjoy the match.
Highly irresponsible. If I'd known what you were up to, I'd never have allowed it.
Well, I'm sure you did far worse when you were students.
We never called out ambulances under false pretenses. Anyway, we're not students. We're respectable doctors.
I'm not. I'm retired.
I must say, Geoffrey, you fooled me. I really thought you were having a heart attack.
Me too. I mean, the way you clutched your chest was very convincing.
Thank you. Actually, chaps.
Geoffrey, we're here now. You can stop acting.
Seriously, Duncan, I don't feel too good.
I did a terrible thing. I used Kenneth's funeral as a means to satisfy our own indulgences. Unforgivable.
It's retribution, nemesis.
We behaved appallingly.
We deceived his mother, unforgivable. It's retribution, I know it is.
Better go and ring Geraldine again, see if she's back.
Duncan, why don't you hang on? See what happens. We don't want to alarm her unnecessarily.
Well, hang on for what? Till it's too late? She'll want to get the next train.
Getting drunk like that, it was awful. We behaved appallingly.
You didn't get drunk, Dick. We did.
We behaved abominably. Should be ashamed of ourselves.
Geraldine, it's me.
Hello. How was the funeral? Very traumatic?
No, not really. Kind of strangely jolly. But the thing is...
Where are you? On your way home?
Sort of. Actually, we're in Cardiff.
Where?
Cardiff.
Cardiff? What the hell are you doing in Cardiff?
Well, I mean, your father wanted to go. Well, we all wanted to go. And the thing is...
He's fine.
Hang on!
Food poisoning. He's all right now. He'll probably feel a bit poorly for the next 24 hours. Quite honestly, Professor, I think the best thing is to get him home as quickly as possible. Here's a letter I'd like him to give to his doctor.
Well, the thing is, we didn't get the match, and so we're on our way back home. Yes, we'll be getting the train, so we'll be back in time for Melissa's concert. The Bentley broke down. The air going to bring it back. Bye.
Yes, well, of course, that's the trouble. It has all the symptoms of a heart attack.
Oh, indeed, Professor. At his age, one can't be too careful. He tells me he had a crab and avocado dip. It's almost certain to be that. Bye-bye.
I had some of that.
Me too.
So did I.
Actually, I don't feel too good.
No, I don't.
No, me neither.
To be honest, I thought it was the worry of all this.
It's not. It's Mrs. Bickerstaff's dip.
Kenneth Bickerstaff's dip?
What?
He made it. What? She told me. She got out the freezer.
It's retribution.
It's not. It's Bickerstaff's revenge.
That's right. Even when he's dead, he's managed to wreck our weekend. Bloody Bickerstaff.